Hey guys, glad you stopped by. So today we're gonna do some dessert. It's Thursday, and I thought we would do another one of the cards. I mean, why not? I have so many different recipes to choose from on these, and it's a Jello recipe. You know, I know, you're probably like, oh, Jello again, but why not? I mean, these are some quick, easy desserts that you can do that, I mean, realistically, you could knock out a lot in a little bit of time and, you know, have a dessert ready for a makeshift party or a get together you're going to, you know, to bring with you. Awesome, why not? And this one sounds interesting. I've never done anything involving cream cheese and Jello, where they're kind of the two main superstars. You know, not bad at like putting mix into stuff to firm it up and, you know, give it structure, but never Jello, gelatin, and cream cheese. So we're gonna give it a try with some pineapple. It literally has 5 ingredients. It's green Jello, the lime Jello, cream cheese, milk, and hot water and pineapple. That is the extent of the list on this. Can't go wrong with that. If you're new to my channel, this is your first video, thanks for stopping by. I hope you get something out of this video. Maybe check out some of my other videos, consider subscribing. If you're returning or one of our new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. While we're on the subject, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All that keeps us out in the algorithm, helps the neighborhood to grow. That's important. You know, it helps get the word out there that it's okay to be nice to each other, right? And we do that through communicating and food. I think we do a rather good job of it all together, you know. Yeah, but that being said, comments always welcome. I love comments. I respond to all of them, good, bad, or indifferent. All I ask is you be nice. It's okay to disagree with me or anybody else in the comments for that matter, but just think before you type. You know, that's all I ask, you know, and be polite. But why don't we head on down here to the counter where we get started on this bad boy. It won't take us no time at all, and I will give you all your measurements and cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, and also grams and milliliters. So let's head on down here and get started. Hold on for me just 1 second. Okay, so we are down here at the counter. Now, first step on this, things you'll need. You will need at least 2 bowls. We're gonna mix the Jello in 1 bowl, and then we're going to do the cream cheese and the milk in another bowl, and then we will bring them all together with the pineapple and throw them into a mold. But really, that's it. It's easy enough. And in this first bowl, I've got my lime Jello right here, my green Jello, and it's a 6-ounce package, where you can get 2 3-ounce packages. I just found it more economical to get the 6-ounce package. It was, I don't know, 30 cents cheaper. That's up to you, however you like to do it. Whatever you might have available. You might have 2 packets down in your pantry. And to this, I am going to go ahead and add 2 cups of boiling water. Now I just used my tea kettle here to get my water going, but I mean, you can boil, you know, heat it up in the microwave on the stovetop if you don't have a microwave or a tea kettle. But I have found this tea kettle, now that I own it, to be absolutely invaluable, which is weird, hands down. So we're going to go ahead and get that in there. And then I'm just going to take my whisk and we'll go ahead and whisk this together real quick. That way we can get it dissolved. And I thought about doing the cream cheese first, but the recipe says to do it in this direction because you're going to want to let this settle a little bit. You want to let it cool while we're beating up the cream cheese. So now that we've got that stirred up, go ahead and set our whisk over there in this container right here in my mixer. Now you can use a hand mixer, you could probably even use a wooden spoon. I just don't feel like digging out my hand mixer, and I really just don't have the energy today to do wooden spoon beating. So 8 ounces of cream cheese, 227 grams. It's just 1 block of cream cheese. We're gonna go ahead and take that, and then to this I'm gonna add 1 cup of whole milk, 240 milliliters. And what we'll do is, once I get that in there, is we are going to, the recipe says dissolve the cream cheese by beating it into the milk. So I'm going to start out on low until it gets mixed in enough that I can turn it up and we can make a dissolved block of cream cheese into the milk. Okay, so we've got our cream cheese is dissolved into our milk, and it's frothy, so it's kind of a struggle to see, but that's all right because we're about to pour this into our Jello mix here, and any bits of cream cheese that are in here, because this is still warm. I mean, it's not hot anymore. If this is still steaming when you get done with this, you might want to let this settle a little bit, because even though we're going to have to stir as we put this in, you don't want to just dump it in when if this is cold. I've got mine at room temperature. Well, the cream cheese was softened and the milk's been out for about a half hour, but you want to let this, you know, not necessarily set, but at the same time you don't want it blazing hot. So what we'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a good mix real quick just to make sure, and then I'll just start pouring this in, and I'll stir this so that way I know, you know, we don't curdle anything is what we're trying to not do. All right, so we got her poured in. Definitely looking interesting. If you've made something like this before, let me know down in the comments. I mean, is it frothy like that? Is the foam thing normal? Because like I said, my experience with working with Jello is limited to just making a little container of Jello for the family. At least that's what we did as kids. You know, Mom would make it, and then we'd get home from school and there would be, you know, the little cups with some just normal Jello in it. So I don't have a whole lot of this style of Jello making experience. But I do know I have this 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. Now, I am not going to, it says we need 1.5 cups, but I'm going to guess it's probably close to this can. And you don't want to, yeah, it's pretty close to the whole can. So we'll just go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and use the whole can at any rate. So I'm going to go 2 cups of crushed pineapple in this. And I'm using the juice, and the reason why I'm using the juice, because I was hesitant because it doesn't say either way. So I would have to assume that we're using the juice. But if you read the instructions to Jello, it calls for 2 cups of hot water on the back of the package because it's a big package, and then it calls for 2 cups of cold water. So we added 2 cups of hot water when we made the Jello. We did a cup of milk, which wasn't ice cold, but it was, you know, not hot. And then we had the juice from the pineapples. So, and that, which would be about another cup's worth, as we found out with the pistachio pie we made. You know, when we squeezed out all that juice out of the pineapple, it took out about 1 cup's worth of juice. So we should be good there. Now that we've got that done, I ran into my next dilemma. Jello mold. Who owns a Jello mold? Where do you buy one nowadays? I looked, I couldn't find one. But then I read some interesting stuff, and I looked at some stuff online, you know, that were just different shaped glass bowls and things like that. And then I read this little snippet that talked about how you can use a metal one, you know, or a glass one. And if you want to slide it out of this, which I want to do, all you have to do is put it down in some slightly warmed water, and it will release it. Plus this is non-stick, so hopefully that'll work too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my bundt pan here, just like such. And then I am going to put this in the fridge for the next 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours minimum. And after a couple hours, I'll probably leave this open for the first couple hours, and then I'll just put some wrap over the top of it once it's cooled down a little bit, and then that way, you know, nothing will get into it. I've also learned that things that aren't covered can collect smells from your fridge that you don't know exist. But anyhow, I'm gonna get this in the fridge, and when I come back, we will make an attempt to get it out of the bundt pan, or just eat it out of the bundt pan. Either way it goes, I think we'll be okay. See you here in just a second. Okay, so you just watched us get it out of the bowl and or out of the mold, and that was an interesting process. I guess I would have probably thought about that eventually, but it was a nice thing to learn. I will tell you this: that water that I used, even though it said to use warm water, realistically, cold water worked just fine because that was by no means warm. It was like a cold bath. But after that, just to get it to kind of reset up, because it does loosen the Jello up that's on the outside of it, I just stuck it back in the fridge until it went solid again, and now we're back to being wiggly Jello, right? And it turned out beautiful. Really, I can't see I just turned out well. The only thing I noticed, and this was more I think on me than anything, is my cream cheese did not dissolve all the way in the milk. So I think next time I will whip the cream cheese for a little bit first, beat it up, and then add the milk and beat it up some more. That way I didn't have to work so hard, and I'll add the milk slowly. That would be my two best guesses on how to do that, because I didn't want to heat the milk up, to help dissolve it, because you wanted it to be cold. You had to have the 2 cups of hot, 2 cups of cold. So I wanted to keep it as least room temperature-ish as possible. But anyhow, enough of that conversation. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Go ahead and get us a piece cut here. All right, so we got her cut. Came out nice and firm like it's supposed to. Held its shape, through the cutting process. Yeah, and I mean, even looks good on this end. So I can't really hate on that. It looks like Jello should. I just think that's just the coolest stuff ever as far as color goes. So anyhow, let's give this a try. I'm kind of excited. I've never had Jello, cream cheese, and pineapple before. This will be an interesting scoop. It's really good. I mean, really good. Yeah. I mean, it's got just that little bit of tanginess from the cream cheese. The lime Jello is very prevalent, and I love lime Jello. You can taste the pine. I mean, it all works well together. That is really good. I mean, I suppose there's a reason why the recipe is still around. So I'm sure this is a recipe from the late 60s, early 70s, if I had to guess. But it kind of tastes like springtime or summer in Hawaii, or I don't know how to describe it. It's just really refreshing and very good. Yeah, you've got to give this one a try, hands down. I could eat a good portion of that whole mold right there and not think twice about it. It's not heavy, it's not dense, it's not, it's just light, it's refreshing, it's got wonderful flavor combination. Not anything like I expected. Like I said in the last Jello video, the red applesauce Jello, I didn't know what to expect, because growing up as kids, we didn't have Jello like this. It was literally just the Jello made in little cups and served as an occasional treat. And not that I hate that by any means. I love that. It's a fond memory I have as a kid growing up. Kind of like getting chocolate pudding in the little pudding glasses that my mom had. But that just is like a whole new level of deliciousness. So give this a try. Let me know if you do. Hands down, you won't go wrong. Next week, as always, no idea, but it'll be good. I'm almost positive of that, or maybe we'll learn something along the way. So anyhow, if you give this a try, let me know down below in the comments. Find me on Facebook, both. I think, or if you have something that you do on your own, leave it down in the comments. That you might want to share with us. I love to read new ideas and things, and the way you guys do things also. That's part of being a community, right? And having a good time. But until next week, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's going to put a smile on their face either way that you go. It's going to make you feel good and smile, put a smile on your face to tell them. I guarantee it. And if you make them some of this lime Jello mold, you are going to put a smile on their face for days. That's going to lead to some wonderful conversation. You know, and there's enough there. Really, go rekindle an old friendship. I seem to be rekindling them off and on by, no choice of my own, but gratefully, over the last few months. And I think that my friends would like this too. So anyhow, till next week, I love you and I will see you then. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.